You know what? I've done the sniff test. That's worked well for me. Andy, it's time to take a look at that first forecast. Chief Meteorologist Andy Anderson joining us. Andy, does a smell test work for you when you're checking your food in the fridge? Even an isolated thunderstorm or two, particularly late in the day. But the big thing I am watching.
Well, first of all, we got to say you've done an outstanding job. You're doing the weather, the sports, the news, and operating the camera. It's amazing.
Yeah, you know what? This is not an easy thing to operate. I've been having a little trouble with this thing this morning. I'm a much better ad-libber over at the Weather Center in front of that green screen. Hey, how you doing there, Chris? I'll tell you what, we are literally just underway. I'll kind of let you see a little bit of the action here. But don't worry about me, though. I got my extra hot coffee here. And Cole, I'm going to tell you, if you need something on your list for that Black Friday and you haven't been able to do that because you've been working hard all day long, you got my number. Send me a message. I will get it for you. And then you could just pay me later. What's happening behind me right now is hands-on training, practice to earn this badge. Falls County Sheriff Ricky Skaman is out of jail tonight after posting a $195,000 bond on Monday. They call it a bag of hope because Libby tells me that's exactly what it is. Let's talk about that inspiration while watching TV. He's telling me off camera, team's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. What's 2019 look like? That's exactly how it works on the offensive line, or offensive side of the ball, rather. I don't know if you can see where that drum is. It's right over there. The TSD right now, they are on defense, so that drum is not in use. But when it's in use, is during offense. They cannot hear that, but they can feel that vibration. They hit it twice, and that's when the snap occurs. And it is a warmer, muggier start than it was just yesterday. We're also dealing with some passing precipitation. How long is that going to stick around? Plus tracking some isolated thunderstorms. I'll have all that in my full forecast just ahead. I will be here tomorrow, so I'm going to anchor the show here tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow goes better than it has so far for me today.
This is what community engagement looks like. It's what it feels like and is necessary for those who say they are being targeted.
Hey, Dad, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Hey. No, I told you don't use a gun. I told you don't use a gun.
If you have a parent who's experiencing some type of mental distress like Mr. Warren was, you don't have to necessarily call the police. You can call your neighbor and let them help you to go get some type of, some mental help.
This is what I'm fighting for. And every day, I'm teaching my son about racism.
This is Black Community Day, a peaceful day of reckoning, of solidarity, and teaching those growing up behind us just what it takes to lead.
It's important for him to see because we want to show him what leadership looks like. And when you have strong leadership, it exuberates leadership, and it creates leaders for tomorrow.
Do not rack this round or take that off of safe unless you hear gunfire.
Almost everyone who attended was strapped at the ready to defend themselves because they've seen too many times before people get hurt while exercising their constitutional rights.
We had a freedom of speech, and we used the Second Amendment to make sure that our First Amendment is not infringed on.
Over 150 people representing 4 different organizations around the state of Texas ascended on Killeen to let those that live here know they aren't alone.
Together with people, making sure that they're registered to vote.
To help them create a voice in their community. Hitting the streets on patrol with an agenda to give hope to the people of underserved and over-policed areas.
Now y'all stay on this side. This side, stay on this side.
A chance to interact with those who call Killeen home, find out their needs, their complaints, and just how they can help them live better and stronger.
You the next generation. You the next Martin Luther King.
A chance to uplift the younger children, to let them know they are the next great difference makers, policy changers, and the hope of the next generation for a better tomorrow.
We want a better tomorrow where we can just live in peace, we can be left alone, we can be treated fairly, and we have the same economic opportunities of equal footing as other minorities and people of color.
Fall back in.
For Nick Bezel, he's done this a time or two in other cities like Dallas and Austin. And this patrol today was a combination of both joy and pain. Joy for the security those felt, but pain at what he saw with his own two eyes with every step he took.
Again, seeing people unite, people supporting, giving people hope, but it's also painful to see that people who already don't have anything get treated the way they have been getting treated unjustly.
And through the glow of a flickering candle, they uplift a man who they say the system failed. They remember him with the hope they never have to do this again.
Say his name! Patrick Warren Sr. Say his name! Patrick Warren Sr. Say his name! Patrick Warren Sr. Say his name! Patrick Warren Sr.
We lift you in power, brother. Black power. We lift you in power, brother.
In Killeen, Barry Roy, 6 News.
He was, everybody loved my dad universally because he was funny, he was charismatic, and he was just, there are people like that just kind of draw people to him, and he was one of those special people.
Adrienne Hodges loves to talk about her dad.
He was just, you know, he was a soldier, he was a hero, and I was used to him being gone for deployments, but he always came back.
Jonathan Ross Edwards was born April 20th, 1956 in Bitburg, Germany, but everyone who knew him called him Jack. He served in the United States Army and then the Marine Corps as an officer flying Cobra helicopters.
He chose to go to the Gulf. He ran into someone, I believe at McDonald's, and they started talking about the Persian Gulf conflict that was coming up, and he decided he needed to go.
Adrienne was Daddy's little girl and all of 8 years old in 1991. Captain Jack was hell-bent on doing his part to rid the earth of a man named Saddam.
So my job is to go and fight bad guys like that.
Captain Jack explained to his little girl he needed to be one of the good guys and stand up for what was right because Saddam was so wrong.
You pray every night, and we watched it on TV. You saw the Scud missiles going across the sky, and...
But her daddy, her hero, the funniest man that everyone knew, Captain Jack, never made it home. It's been 10,790 days since Captain Jack left this earth as a hero of war when his helicopter crashed along the border of Iraq and Kuwait. He was the first to be buried from the war at Arlington National Cemetery. His death has never been forgotten.
I love talking about it.
Adrienne and her husband own and operate Bold Republic Brewing in Belton and crafted a beer in the name of her father, calling it Captain Jack, donating all proceeds to the Desert Storm War Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, now South Carolina, Texas.
The recipe for Captain Jack is being shared across the country. Any state can pick it up and brew it while pledging their sales of the Helles Buck German Lager, her daddy's favorite, to help fund the $40 million memorial in our nation's capital. Adrienne says she doesn't care how long it takes to raise the money, just as long as the wall gets built for the men and women who gave their lives alongside her hero, Jack.
He's having a beer with a lot of people right now. I think every time someone drinks a Captain Jack, he's cheersing along with them.
In almost 30 years to the day he died, she knows he's here and that he always has been.
I think my dad's sacrifice and the lessons he left on this earth are really strong, and that's the core of what's behind the Captain Jack Project.
In Temple, Barry Roy, 6 News.
We do not become holy by acquiring merit badges and brownie points.
Ernest Wilkerson is finally back home. Still recovering and adapting to a new normal he never asked for 9 months after he contracted COVID-19.
I'm still recovering. My body's still weak. I still have pain in my joints. Today is not an ordinary day.
It's a far cry from the man he once was.
It was like, imagine trying to breathe in a bag, but there's no room in the bag to breathe.
When he entered the hospital on December 11th and never left.
There was a moment when I knew I was going to die. When I went back there, I couldn't breathe, and they were trying to intubate me because I couldn't breathe. So, and I knew I was going to die at that point.
Wilkerson says he's seen the videos where he's fighting for his life. It's as raw and as real as it gets.
How close to death I was. How close, because nobody really knows the pain that you go through, because you see it, but you don't realize there's pain associated with that. There's agony associated with that. Behold how good it is for brethren to dwell together.
And as the Delta variant takes hold and COVID cases rise,
good night, baby.
Wilkerson can only hope others take it seriously, because he's proof that COVID is real.
I hope this helps somebody who's on the fence, who don't know the COVID. Get off the fence. Get off the fence. Get your COVID shot today.
Sometimes the clouds hang low.
In Killeen, Barry Roy, 6 News.